liberal Democrat. I'm voting blue no matter who.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very easy.
Well, I wanted to see, but you don't identify.
Can I tell you why? Because I believe in the rule of law.
I respect
and the Supreme Court yesterday showed us that we're no longer within the rule of law. We now have an unequal federal law depending on what state you're in. I cannot believe conservatives will write an opinion like that. That's the most strange thing I've ever seen.
What are you referring to? There were several.
One yesterday.
Weren't there
the
several?
birthright, the nationwide injunction.
Oh, okay.
It was the biggest news story yesterday. Did you read the newspaper yesterday?
Yeah, but there were several. I got several.
It was the biggest news story yesterday. Did you read the newspaper?
I didn't read the newspaper.
Did you watch the news?
I don't watch the news. I read on Ground News, the app.
Okay. Well, then it was all over Ground News. The birthright citizenship case. Yeah, the birthright citizenship case. I don't hear about that yesterday.
I heard about it.
All right, cool. Stop interrupting me. Unless you're going to say something substantive. If you want to have like a homeboy chat, just ping me into a room. We can catch up. This is kind of boring for people. You interrupting me every time. I hate to say substantive. If you have some substantive to say on the topic, you can. Me in the middle of talking, asking how I identify, just put it in the chat. Good. Or just ping me to a room.
I actually appreciate something to good, please.
What do you think?
Good. I mean, they are not discussing. Are you on Twitter? Now, you know that Elon Musk puts things that are interesting, on the search tab. They're not discussing Mandami's tariff. It's not being talked about. It's going to be what? It is not being talked about. This is tax plan.
Yeah. I haven't dug into the tax plan yet, deeply. So we'll see how it goes. But let's just say where we are. Are we done talking about education? You guys?
Yeah. Let's move on. I appreciate a substantive room without trolling and.
Just go ahead, Snoopy. Give your point.
Okay. So I actually would suggest that you consider in future rooms the public policy changes that are good for everyone in New York that are not Democrat versus Republican issues. Right? There's a lot that can be done that's just basic good governance that's done in Copenhagen and other world-class cities that doesn't have to be politically controversial.
No, I totally agree. I don't think any of this stuff is politically controversial. I don't think any of this is controversial. This is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm really looking for something that's really, not an obsession, but something I'm very into. I would love to see a mayor of New York City, a candidate, and let me tell you, Brad Lander's plan for education was fantastic. Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. Oh my God, it was fantastic. So detailed. But anyway, I would love to see somebody like really take seriously the importance of early childhood education. And it might be nice to see like somebody really tackle that. And this is actually an issue that I had with a certain group of people. I've been raging on them for the last couple of days, and they're headed by a certain man. Whose last name is Sanders. Never do they have anything substantive to say about education. And I think this is actually a larger problem for the Democratic Party and for liberals generally. Education is not on the agenda at all. It is a bunch of cliche, catering to the teachers union, which is one of their major constituencies, which is fine. Workers are important. Teachers are important. They're very important workers. They spend more time with our children than some of you spend with your own children. So that's important. Maybe all of it's because of how long they're at school. If your children are in school, right? It's all important. But
the best thing you could do for education in New York is to make the subways safe, because there are good schools all over the city. It's just many parents are afraid to put their kids on the subways. So one thing that's not partisan, it's not a Democrat versus Republican issue, but I've seen it in Copenhagen and in many cities in Europe, is they're able to reduce the number of police on the subway and also make the subway safer at the same time. And the way they do it is they use facial recognition technology. I'll be very brief here. They use facial recognition technology, and if you have committed more than 2 felonies on the subway, you get a lifetime ban from using the subway. And it turns out by banning people who've committed 2 felonies on the subway, you make the subways very, very safe, and you don't need very many police. And so I think that that's something that can be done in New York, and it's not an issue of Democrat versus Republican. It's a way to save money and also keep the subway safe at the same.
Well, Edmund is streaming the room on YouTube. I wish instead of he coming in on his anonymous with the glasses down at the bottom, he would just tell us that it's John Kitover on YouTube. I wish he would just tell us he were doing that, and then people would know, as opposed to him just coming into rooms and streaming them on his YouTube channel that two people go to, including himself, when he's not reading from the Hare Krishna while wearing a Trump hat. It's beyond creepy and stupid and dumb. So why don't you just come off anonymous and let people know that you're streaming? It's so stupid, bro. It's so stupid.
You know, I think you should consider the possibility that most people are just not interested in the nuts and bolts of public policy. Most people on Clubhouse, they just enjoy kind of rooting for their team and trolling the other side. I think there's a very small audience of public policy geeks.
Yeah, it's a guy. You can find it on YouTube. I think his particular account is the anonymous down at the bottom with the sunglasses.
Wait, so does that mean if this room is being streamed live on YouTube, does that mean that any random fucking person could be listening to me right now, same as it already is?
Well, right now he only had. Well, he never gets a lot of people.
So it's actually more dangerous for me to worry about somebody in this room than somebody on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's two. It's only two people.
Right, and in this room, it's like a bunch of random people. Could be anybody. Like, who are these people?
Yeah, but and it's worse than that. Let me be very brief. He records the rooms. The rooms stay hosted on the internet forever, and with advanced technology, right? People in the future will be able to review those recordings and match your real identity to what you say in this room. So, for example, if you say something in this room that is politically incorrect, it could result in you getting fired from a job. So, I think
that's
that
already
the fact
happened
that,
today.
and then I'll shut up. The fact that people are recording the room means that if you say anything in this room, be prepared to impact your life in the future. I'm sorry I sound like a sourpuss and a pessimist, but that's how I feel.
Well, Norm has done that himself. He's gotten people fired.
No, I never do such a thing.
You know that for instance, Josh.
What kind of lie was that?
I heard that Norm had sex with a transgender.
Where they getting it from?
Ha ha, pussy. Goat couldn't handle the heat. Liberal Democrats run when they don't have their private spaces.
And he was very instrumental in me leaving Christianity. So I thought, as an ex-Christian, I should help a Jew become an ex-Jew. But it's not about not becoming a Jew, Steve. It's just about leaving Judaism, the religious part, the part where you celebrate like the child sacrifices in Egypt and stuff like that. Just leave the rituals and the religious part alone, and just celebrate, I don't know, whatever it means to be Jewish without religion.
Well,
one could do that.
I mean, Benjamin, for some people, that's not so cut and dry. But I hear you, and I'm sure we will hear you.
But by the way, I did leave my family. I walked away from my friends and my family, and that's fine. If they want to worship a God who kills children, they can do that.
And I'm sure they are crushed around Thanksgiving. because
You know,
I'm sure you are a pleasure at Thanksgiving.